guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Debbie and I love sharing tips on how to save time and money. And today I am so happy to be sharing tips on both of those topics. And this is also a collab with my YouTube gal pal, Jan, whose channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. So between me and Jan, we're gonna throw at you 6 money and time saving tips. And I'm gonna start it off with Jan. Jan, take it away.
Debbie, I'm so honored and humbled to be here. I'm going to get right to it because we're talking about saving time, so I'm not going to waste anyone's time. I'm going to jump right to it. Okay, here's a really great tip. I know because I do it, but I wrote it down. Pick up an already cooked rotisserie chicken. Eat what you need on night 1. After dinner, cut up and freeze in individual freezing bags. You'll have pre-cooked chicken ready to add to soups, to stews, or stir-fry meals. Also, keep the carcass and use for homemade broth by placing it in your slow cooker and straining the bones. Freeze that broth for the future. Think about this. All this for the price of 1 chicken. That's money saver and a time saver.
Jan, you are so right. That is such a great tip. By using your freezer to stretch that chicken and also freeze the broth for another meal, it is such a great time saving and money saving tip. I have 2 videos on how I use my freezer to help me save money on my groceries, and I'll link those videos above. And now I want to show you how earlier this week I used my refrigerator to save me time and money. When I was taking inventory in my fridge, I found these 2 celery stalks. This one is brand new and it's fine, but I wanted to show you the difference. This one, the leaves are already starting to turn a little yellow, and this part here is completely dead. But instead of just taking this and tossing it out, as you can tell, if I just snipped this little piece off, the rest of it is perfectly fine. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna chop it up the same way that I use it in most of my recipes, which is just chop really thin. And then I'm gonna put it in this freezer bag and label it and put it in the freezer. And that way, whenever I have a recipe that calls for chopped celery, I just have to grab what I need and use it, and that way nothing has gone to waste at all. And I save money. And as you can see, I chopped it up and I put the air out of the bag and I sealed it. And now it's as flat as a book. So I'm gonna put it in the freezer, and then that way, not only will it freeze and I can take out what I want and then zip it back up and put it in the freezer, but it's gonna take up less room than it would if it was completely bulky like this. So I save room in the freezer and I save money because now nothing's gone to waste. Okay, Jan, what's your second tip?
Okay, make or buy freezer meals when they are on sale. Better still, if you want, make them if you have the time. I like to do that. I get 2 nice things done at the same time. For example, at the end of a long day, how wonderful it is to pop a casserole in the oven while that's happening. I have an opportunity to take a warm, nice, relaxing shower while that's going on, because I noticed something. Anything that I do on a timer, it's amazing what you can get done if you put a timer to it. And by the way, you could try that trick with any task, like straightening up your living room or cleaning up a kitchen quickly. Put a timer on, make a game out of it. Find out if you can meet or beat the clock. There you go. One more thing for right this minute till I come to another clip. Invest in good quality paper plates. These plates come in handy for sloppy type of meals like lasagna or baked ziti, for example. And by the way, those 2 meals I just mentioned make the perfect freezing meals. Why? Because you yield a lot out of it and you could divide it up, pop it in your oven, take your shower or watch a TV show while that's cooking and decompress from a long day. Winner, winner, all around.
Freezer meals are such a great tip, Jan. I couldn't agree with you more. What I tend to do is if I'm ever making like a pasta bake or a lasagna or anything like that, I will brown the meat in one pan, but double it. And then sometimes I have 1 pot, or if it's too much, I have 2 pots, boiling water, and I put the pasta in there. And then I make 1 in a casserole dish that I'm gonna serve to my family that night. And then it just takes a few minutes to assemble the second one, which instead of putting it in a casserole dish, I put it in an aluminum pan that I got at the 99-cent store, and then I assemble it the exact same way. I let that one cool, and then I wrap it with plastic wrap, and then on top of that, aluminum foil, and then on the aluminum foil wrap, I write how long it's going to take to cook, at what temperature in the oven, and more importantly, what the meal is. Because once it's in the freezer, out of sight, out of mind, and I don't want to a month or two later think to myself, I have a meal in that freezer, but what is it? So freezer meals are such a great tool, especially for hectic weeknight meals when you don't have time to make something and you want to save time and money and make a healthy meal for your family. Instead of ordering something and that comes to your house and you have no idea how it was cooked, or more than likely it's not healthy, you have something healthy that you know exactly what the ingredients are, and it's in your freezer, and all you have to do is put it on the counter, and once it defrosts, you take the plastic wrap off first and then you stick it in the oven and you have a meal. Jan, you are so right about that. And now I want to share with you a tip on how I was able to save time in the kitchen last week. I just picked up my camera quickly because I wanted to show you, this is a great example on how I save time in the kitchen. So my family wanted me to grill today, so I made some burgers, but instead of making a single batch, which gave me 5 burgers, I made a double batch, and now I'm going to put some plastic wrap on this, and tomorrow I've got this ready for meatballs. So one less thing I have to do tomorrow, everything is ready. All I have to do is throw them in the pan and we're good to go. So I'm saving time for tomorrow by doing just double today. Hey Jan, what's your last tip?
Finally, for now, here are a couple of tips that you may enjoy. One of them is at the end, how to bake the fastest sugar cookies ever. My recipe, just saying. Okay, clean up whatever meal you're doing, clean up as you go along. Okay, so while whatever you're cooking is cooking, that is the perfect opportunity to at least begin the soaking process, pardon me, or if not, just cleaning it out right then and there, getting rid of those extra bowls, those extra utensils. Then the aftermath, after the meal is completed, will not seem like a disaster area. It will not exhaust you. The last thing you want is to be very tired at the end of the day. After working hard all day, don't you think you deserve to be awake enough to enjoy the remainder of the day while you're relaxing with yourself or with your family? Just saying. And speaking of time, here is that fastest cookie recipe of mine ever. Fastest ever sugar cookie recipe. Preheat your oven at 350. All you're going to do, you're going to save a step. You're going to take 1.5 cups of pancake complete mix, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 cup of white sugar, throw in a dash of cinnamon, 1 egg, and 3 capfuls of, unflavored oil, regular oil, what you have on hand. You're going to take a spoon, a regular eating spoon, drinking spoon, whatever you do with it, regular spoon. You're going to make 12 lumps. You're going to put it on your baking tray, ungreased. You're going to bake it for 350 for 12 minutes. I am actually going to do this. This is so easy. I want to work with this with my granddaughter later today because I want her to learn the simplicity. All right, she's about 8 or 9, well, 8.5 going on 9. So that's why I said 8 or 9. And we're going to hang out today and bake some cookies. This is a great starter recipe for kids while you supervise them, okay? So the 2 of you or 3 of you can work on this together. There you go. Hope you enjoyed my tips. And Debbie, thanks again so much for the honor of being here. Have a great day, everybody. And check out my channel if you have an opportunity. Jeff, New York City Saves Money. Just click on my little avatar. There you go. Have a great day.
Cleaning as you go is such a great tip. I want to add to it a little bit too, Jan. So just like you said, if you're cooking dinner and you're just letting everything sit in the sink and letting it accumulate and accumulate and accumulate, especially throughout the day, you're not going to be motivated to then the next day cook again. In fact, you're going to be probably really tempted to go through a drive-through or order takeout or buy any kind of convenient food, which one is a waste of money because you already have a fridge full of food that you've already paid for. And 2, it's actually not healthy for you either. So that is a great tip to clean as you go. What I like to do is I have 2 teenagers and a 6-year-old. So what the teenagers do is part of their allowance is to alternate Monday through Friday who cleans out the dishwasher? And then that way, by the time I come into the kitchen to make dinner, the sink is completely empty because they put whatever was in the sink, they put in the dishwasher. The dishwasher only has a few dirty items. Everything's been put away. So now as I'm cooking and whatever recipe I have to simmer or put in the oven, I take that time to clean the items that don't go in the dishwasher, like my cutting board, my knife, any kind of mixing bowl I use, and I wash that by hand and I put it on my counter to dry. Then, to add to Jan's tip, is if I've made any meal with chicken, fish, or beef, while the recipe is going, I then take a disinfectant spray and I disinfect my sink. I just spray it and I let it sit there for about 5 to 10 minutes, 15 at the most. And if the fish, the chicken, or the beef have touched the counter, I spray the counter as well. That way I'm cooking, I'm disinfecting, the cleaning is pretty much done, and when the meal is done, whatever utensils and plates and cups that we use, all of that goes directly into the dishwasher, and then the only thing left that I have to wash is the pot or the pan or the casserole dish that the meal cooked in. And that way, by the time everyone's done eating, 10 or 15 minutes later, the kitchen is done as well. So that motivates me to then do it again the next day. And that benefits us all, not only by saving us money, but also by me cooking a healthier meal than any kind of convenient food could do for us. So I want to thank Jan again for collaborating with me. This has been a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed these tips. And if you like this video, don't forget to click the like button, share it with your friends, don't forget to subscribe and to click on that bell, and I'm gonna link Jan's channel down below so you can just click on it and not only get to access her amazing tips, but that recipe as well, because she shared that recipe in a recent video. And I'm gonna actually try to make it myself. That sounded amazing, Jan. So guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!